Hello friends, I'm DDK. This is the next CD Spotlight. It's going to be KennyS, and I'm trying a new thing, just jumping to more interesting rounds, and it's still a long video, so we can see a quick boost there. It's the 4th round, it's the buy round for the T side, and KennyS, is he going to be able to get a pick here? This is a really nice move, and this is, of course, one of the really dangerous things about playing against awpers like KennyS, because he does do very aggressive little moves like that, and it is a very viable way to play for certain, because it can basically just blow up the round. Imagine if he just got a pick there. We'll see later as well he has a bit more problems with that, but if you want to take note of the position he just had, very typical there on the ledge, you can take the shot and drop off, so it's like a really quick escape option. So you, when you take the first shot, miss or hit, you can just drop off and you're good. So KennyS now, if we can take a look to the top left, we can see what's going on the map. After pushing short, he fell back to help A because there are 2 men on the B side, and so this is going to be pretty problematic. You can see the power of the smoke there coming in from Fnatic, and it's going to be pretty impossible for KennyS to actually push through that, but apparently he's just going to shoot through the smoke and get a kill, so that's fine, isn't it? So KennyS, okay, he's going to boost his teammate. This is a pretty nice option, and I think what happened is they both pushed the tunnels, so they called to do that whilst KennyS takes this approach, which is really nice, as there's so few players left for Fnatic. 2 on the tunnels is actually really good, but KennyS doesn't need any help apparently, and it's going to grab 2 there. So going into round number 5 now, we're going to see KennyS doing some of the AWP shenanigans. You can see the setup being the same. It's a 2-1-2 split here, so KennyS is just keeping tabs on mid. You can see the threat that he has basically. He's punched a huge hole in mid. Just look at the map, how there's no Fnatic players there. They've taken all the rest of the map that they possibly can, tunnels and over towards long, not actually long, but this is all because of the threat of KennyS's AWP, and because of just KennyS being the one wielding it, of course. So the smoke goes down, he doesn't feel safe, and this is a really good idea to back onto the A site, because it's already too long, so you can take this position on short. Plus, because he was at mid last, he is a good idea whether short or not is safe. So this is a really good way to play this individually, because you don't need that support from your teammates. And so again, we can see him using the same position. The opponents are sneaking out into mid now, but of course, KennyS absolutely had to fall back and make this move, just because mid was no longer safe due to the lack of visibility. Plus, he had some information, and that information told him again it would be okay to go to short and start trying to pick short. So you don't want to waste that information by waiting, because if you wait too long and then you go to short, you actually don't know what's happened for a while, so you can end up wasting some information. But of course it was B, and there was no smokes this time to really block KennyS off. Nice shot into existence's head there, but as there were no smokes to really block him off, it was a very easy push him and his teammates all the way through, and really nice patience there, aiming at the doors. Now this is a bit tragic. Again, we can see KennyS playing mid right off the spawn. JW goes down, and of course Schneider, you can see him crawling towards the AWP that JW dropped to try to use it, but it's not going to go their way. So this is a bit of a blow up round from Fnatic, and KennyS, he's not actually hitting every shot, but what you need to notice is how many shots he's actually opening himself up to. He's getting the opportunity to hit so many shots, and that's all because of the way that he moves and likes to position himself, and what he does with the information that he gets, and how he's also keeping himself alive. He moves around a lot. That's what we can see. He moves around a lot, and that is because when there's a smoke going down, he takes the information that he got and he repositions. And the setup that Titan are using really uses KennyS to its maximum potential. So that is a really nice way to play. So far, so good. And again, I cut out a lot of the downtime, and here, we're going to see him doing the same thing as before, but maybe things are a little bit more unclear on short. We can actually see on the minimap that that was correct, and that there is actually a player there, and KennyS is going to nail him anyway. So now, he doesn't know for sure that there's no one on short until those kills went down over at B, which was a synchronized push there, as Flush had got dropped over at short. So KennyS just has to make his way back. But when you look at his perspective, how simple does it look? It looks really simple, and it's really great to see actually that his perspective in full in this way. So going into the 9th round now. Again, I skipped quite a lot of the eco ones and the boring ones, but here is actually an eco one from Fnatic. So let's see. So the flash always goes over there for KennyS, and that's just to, of course, flash anyone who's on the other side to just make their lives a little bit harder, because he knows he's going to peek. So might be able to take advantage of that if they're pushing or if they're trying to AWP him. So he's actually got some support this time, and so the support here allows him to fall back, because it's not really safe for them really to push through the doors. I mean, they could try to nade over and push through the doors, but that's a bit of a risk that they don't really need to give away at this point, especially considering it's anti-eco and they know it. So really they just got to try to detect the rush, and part of the reason why he has support there is because they know it's eco. The mid rush to kill the AWPer is often quite a strong quite a strong move for the ecoing team, because imagine if you're going to take out one player, who should it be? It should be KennyS. He's got the most money in his hands, so you know, it's nice. Of course, so it's going to be hard to build off of that as well, because you've got so many rifles around, and it's very likely they'll pick up the AWP anyway. But as well, if they're able to actually take this middle position, that's going to be the strongest play, because a retake on B is not so hard against the pistols. You know, a retake on A not so hard against the pistols. Once you lose mid, if they have like a smoke to go down onto CT spawn and some flashes and so on, things get really hard because they start to split players up and could get a bit nightmarish. So you can definitely understand the support that KennyS had there, because that was the first round that we saw it in giving support in mid here, and this time they decided to put KennyS on B as he got like a nice spawn for it as well, and he hasn't done this before. He's been kind of passive in the last few rounds that we've seen, so we're about to see KennyS mixing in some aggression. And again, this is another nice spot, and of course we saw him on the right angle first, and now he's going for the left, and there it is. He does actually get the frag, playing it really slow, really safe, and now he moves. This is really can be really annoying for Fnatic, because KennyS is so quick. He takes a shot and then he knows exactly where he's going afterwards. Of course, a lot of traffic and the bomb spotted over on long, so it's not really complicated. It's not rocket science to understand that long is going to be the area of choice to go to next. And of course, you know, noticing that his teammates had it under control, he switched back to the short, and now again it's going to be the refocusing on long, dropping the bomb carrier, and now you know things are sorted. So into the next round we go, and again at this point they're probably a bit too moneyless to try to do much on mid. No snipers. So KennyS is just again, you know, getting that information, spotting one, making the calls. His teammates are moving fast. They did actually manage, Fnatic that is, to take down a few players there, and because KennyS didn't have any support and knows that Fnatic are running pretty tight together and pretty fast, and also seeing the traffic in mid, he knows it's not super safe here. So look at this little jump he made. What a beautiful jump. This is something that you guys also need to pay attention to see over the smoke there, because of course he's going to be so familiar playing mid. That is going to be such a good way to counteract that smoke. So now we're going to see, I think, another interesting boost. It might be around after this, so I'll just wait and see, but that wasn't the only cool little boost that we saw. Okay, yeah, I think he's going to go for it here as well. Yeah, this is it. Another really nice boost from the double doors here. He's first peeks up to T-spawn, and then here we go. He can see short with that little boost, and he can fall back after taking the single shot. This is a really... We see this concept repeated again and again. And once the position's given away, the surprise is given away, you move away from that position towards safety. And so he went down in the end. That short rush put him at a very bad position. You can't really AWP from there, and you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But they had enough money to really buy up again, so they went for the fast reaction to just rush CD spawn and decided, okay, we'll just try to see what we can do with these horrible positions. Either way, as we're into the next round, we're seeing this time KennyS going straight towards short. And again, this is just the mixing. This is mixing it up. The mix-ups, because what happens is at the start we saw him, you know, very dominant on that mid position, and of course you're conditioning your opponents into expecting KennyS to be in that mid. So now if he's, you know, moving more on B, we saw the little B push from him in the previous rounds, and now we're seeing a bit more action on earlier towards A. Obviously, this is going to really, this could be a changing factor in a round if they really run into him. But it doesn't really matter, because KennyS is just popping off heads left and right at this point, and it's just one player left. They got the bomb down over on the T spawn, so things are pretty sorted now in this round. So to see what the next round has for us. I mean, KennyS obviously in this position just has to fall back and go back to help his mate over at T-spawn. Here we go, we've got another boost. You know, again, KennyS being very active on the A side now. Again, having conditioned them into thinking that mid is going to be pretty hard to contest with. Goes for the quick aggressive push, but doesn't pay off this time, and that happens. That's the reality of this AWPing style. You know, sometimes even if he'd hit the shot there, I mean, the result still would have been the same. Still probably would have died. He had someone from the lower tunnels, so it's well played to Fnatic there. But again, we're going to see more aggressive play on short, and that's really nice to see. KennyS, of course, going to get a frag there, and Schneider was really fast to short. So again, just mixing up these aggressive moves. Again, Fnatic smoking off CD spawn very often, and KennyS kind of moving confusedly through the smoke, and it's going to be the B retake. So again, very simple stuff. He's always got these positions where he's quite fast to react. And what is the inherent weakness of an AWP? It's immobility. And we can see, of course, from KennyS that, you know, being the aggressive AWPer does have its risks, but he's up to the challenge in trying to be very mobile and make it work. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.